My name's Ram Martinez. This is my 82 C10, and this is a 84 K10 to the right. I got into the truck scene, car scene at a very young age. I had two uncles that had back in the 80s had a K5 and a Bronco 4x4, and they would take the tops off the back and go into the river and go rock crawling slowly with me in them, and that kind of got me into the car thing. My dad used to drive nothing but square bodies to work. He's in construction, so I always saw him as tough vehicles, and they had like that manly look to them. So it just stuck with me. Now into my late 30s, I think I have the best of both worlds. Is I have a bagged C10 and I have a somewhat lifted K10, and I'm enjoying it with my son. My son's 12, 13 years old. It's going to be his truck, so it's a hobby that we share. Yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. As far as the cars came from my uncles and my father having real nice cars when I was younger. That's kind of what attracted me to the whole car scene. So the 82 is actually nicknamed Bean and Cheese. That's how everybody knows her. That's how I kind of tagged her on Instagram and on Facebook. So this is probably like my fourth, fifth square body. When I was looking for them, I would end up finding a nice square body, and then something would happen. You know, life happens, and I couldn't build it, so I would end up selling them. I finally got in a good position to when I found this one. I bought it from the original owner, and he worked at HEB, and he said he bought this for himself in the early 80s. Well, obviously 82. And this was his gift to himself. So he kept it throughout the years. He had given it to his son, who ended up growing to be, he said, like 6'5", 6'6". Didn't really fit in it. Ended up parking it like in the late 90s, and it just sat there until he decided to sell it. I found it on Craigslist for, he actually had it listed wrong. He had it listed as a G10, and he had it listed really cheap. So when I went to go see it, I thought something was going to be wrong with it. And sure enough, I think he just had it listed wrong. I ended up getting a really good deal on it. I love the fact that it was a one owner truck. It was unmolested. So ended up getting her, and then first thing I did was, I did the regular. I lowered it, put some steel 20-inch wheels on it, rode around like that for a while. What I love about it is the patina, the body on it. It's not perfect, and I love that. I love that original look to it. I know people always ask me if I'm going to paint it or restore it, and as of right now, I have no plans to do anything to the outside. I love the way it looks. I love the rust on the bumpers. I love how one bumper's kind of scooted in a little bit. What I really wanted to do work to was underneath the chassis, the frame, the motor, suspension. So that's kind of where we put all the money into it. It has a motor from a 5.3 from a 2004 Tahoe 5.3 that we put in there. My buddy Rick Porras, he did all the mechanical work on it. Put the 4060 with the 5.3. He did a real mild build on it, small cam, lifters, springs. And then my buddy Chris Vinton, out of I think it's called a Country Built Customs. He's the one that did all the framework to it. He did the rear flip kit on it. He did all the air suspension on it. The one thing that I did buy as a kit was a GSI front kit. He advised me that'd probably be a better option for it, so we ended up doing the front GSI clip. And then yeah, it kind of went from there. I was able to find the wheels from Milo Reyna from Reyna Brothers. He had the wheels for sale on Craigslist, and I met up with him, went up to his house, bought the wheels for this truck. So we kind of worked around the wheels. In the rear, it's tucking 24 by 14s. In the front, it's 22 by 9.5s. And it lays frame. I didn't want to do I didn't want to lay the body on the floor. I've noticed how some trucks that lay body, not all of them, but some, the door jams and all that starts moving. So I wanted to just lay frame and not have the body actually lay on the ground. But yeah, I just wanted to be a cruiser. I wanted to be able to jump in it, go to a car meet, and not worry about somebody giving me a ding or it raining or it getting dirty. That was my whole thing behind it. I wanted it to drive it. I wanted to enjoy it, and I wanted to keep that historical look to it as far as the patina and the scrapes and the little bumps, which is not too bad. Like I said, it's a good looking truck. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to overdo it. I have another truck that's my baby, and that's the one that's nice and clean. This one I wanted to jump in, air it up, go down the road, and have fun with it. That's what I wanted to do. So one of the best memories I've had in this truck so far, it wasn't even sitting like this. It was just lowered a little bit with the 20-inch wheels, and we drove it up to LST a couple years ago, about 3 years ago, with my son, and he had his C10 go-kart in the back, and that was probably one of the first car shows where I've gone and entered my vehicle and gone into the show with it, and we got so much attention. We had so many guys come up to us, met a lot of cool people from C10 Club of Texas and other clubs. But we unloaded my son's truck and drove around and walked around and got so much attention, and so many people asking us questions about the truck, about my truck, about my son's truck, and it was just something that me and him were able to enjoy together and bond over. And I just can't wait to do it again the way it sits now and drive it up to like this and have that memory again. And probably, hopefully, this next year we'll be up there and we get to do that again. So one of the next projects that I've had for a while, actually, it's the '84 C10 short bed square body. It was my grandpa's truck. My uncle and my grandpa, they co-owned it when I was younger. That was another memory that I have of them. My grandfather passed away a couple years ago. My uncle passed away a couple years ago, and I inherited the truck from that side of the family, and I started working on it, did a paint job on it. It was running pretty good, put some wheels on it, but I ended up deciding to give it to my son, my son Gus, and I figured it'd be a nice graduation present if he does good and gets good grades and, you know, does everything right. This will be his, and that way we can both have square bodies and ride them to the car shows together and ride around together and follow each other around and show them off. So yeah, that's the next project, is to get the K10 done. But I'm gonna let him get the money when he gets a little bit older, when he gets 16, 17, and let him finish it up, and that way he can put some sweat and tears into it also. And I want to give a special thank you to Rick, my buddy Rick. He did all the motor work on it. My buddy Chris Vinton, he did all the metal work to it, suspension. My friend George, he did all the sanding it down, bringing that patina back out. And last but not least, the one that put up with everything and put up with me spending a ridiculous amount of money, my wife. Special thanks to her for letting me build my dream and letting me build exactly what I wanted, and never telling me to stop or never telling me to not spend the money. She always supported it, so special thanks to her. My name's Brad, and I'm rolling good.
Lying on the floor, looking at the sky, looking at the clouds, and I see you Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Grab it. Okay, I'm here.
You kidding?
Okay.
You want to be like, what the hell? Have a turtle?
Charles are probably like, what the hell's going on over here? Honestly, I don't even think people are gonna notice if she's one of the turtles.
Yeah,
That's gonna be funny.
Yeah. Kind of like a blooper.
Yeah.